We had a meeting today, as you know, with President Zelensky, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great.
You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm looking for peace. We're not looking to go into a 10-year war. And he's looking to go on and fight. We're looking to end the death. 2,000 people died this week.
So, as you may know, yesterday, President Zelensky visited Washington, D.C. to meet up with Donald Trump. And he's got his backside absolutely handed to him on a silver plate. Now, I'm a bit late with my reaction. And for the most part, the reason for it is because I've accumulated a number of different videos I'm going to put together. We're going to react to it. And we're going to try to come to some sort of conclusion in regards to what's going on and where this is going to move in terms of what's going to happen to Ukraine, what's going to happen with Donald Trump and America. Is this all some sort of, I don't know, negotiation tactic, or is there more to it? And, you know, what does it mean for Russia? What does it mean for the frozen assets that Europe, Canada and other countries are holding, frozen Russian assets? So without further ado, let's get into it.
I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
Surely, if anyone from Trump's administration goes to Ukraine, they are going to be taken on a propaganda tour. They're going to take into, it's all going to be under controlled measures. Right? They're not going to go and see what's really going on. They're not going to go and speak to people who are really suffering.
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems? Bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
The body language is, I'm no body language expert, but you can tell, crossed arms. There's a lot of tension in that room. The tension, you know, you can cut it with a knife. It's there, you can tell. You can tell Zelensky feels that maybe, I don't know if he was feeling entitled and he thought that he was going to go there and receive a warm welcome. I don't know if he was going to go there and he was expecting the red carpet to roll out in front of him for people to come and say, yes, such a beautiful, strong leader. Come, we've got billions and billions and billions of taxpayers' money for you so that you can continue this war against Russia. And obviously, it was the complete opposite.
We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position.
So we can see that Trump is quite, his narrative is quite straightforward. Stop the war, stop the killing, stop sending money to Ukraine, and can we get some of this money back from Ukraine in terms of, resources, minerals, whatever it may be? Can we, reimburse some of the money that we've invested?
You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's back to you, far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
This just got out of hand. it just escalated so quickly, and I think Zelensky just was not prepared for it. He was not ready. And some people are questioning it and saying, you know, whether it was a premeditated attack on Zelensky. The way things escalated, the way things just rolled downhill, it's like Trump said, it makes amazing television, but, you know, it just, the way it portrays the relationship, it's just done a 180. And now, you know, I think there's going to be more to follow in regards to what's going on and how this whole Ukraine-Russia thing plays out.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have our military equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days.
All these countries, whether it's Canada, France, Britain, they all, you know, like when you're in school and you got a little kid fighting someone bigger, and you know that they've got no chance, but the crowd, the peer pressure of the crowd, you know, cheering them on and saying, yeah, you can do it, come on, get stuck in, come on. That is basically what's happening with these countries and Ukraine.
This is something
Maybe
new
less.
in 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
And
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with
a
you.
guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make,
Um,
because the attitudes have to change.
what if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do we do then?
This bit is actually quite interesting and is not being discussed at a level that it deserves. So what Zelensky is saying, he wants guarantees in terms of securities, right? He wants a guarantee that Russia's not going to attack. And Trump's saying, well, you can't really get a guarantee because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen. You know, just sign the deal, get it done, stop the killing, stop the war, and let's move forward.
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
But they have
Okay?
broken the
What if they
ceasefire.
broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me.
Now, Zelensky's, I guess, and I'm not sure if I'm misreading it, maybe I'm misreading it wrong. What Zelensky is basically saying is, what happens when, you know, we sign this agreement and in 4 years' time, when you or your administration leaves office or is replaced, what happens then? Because you're saying, okay, Putin is not going to attack because I am Trump and Trump has a good relationship with Putin. But what happens once Trump is no longer in office? That's the question. And what happens then to Ukraine?
Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful.
Now, I don't know about you. To me, this sounds a little bit like duress. It's either our way or the highway. You can go and fight the war by yourself. We're going to be out. So you better sign the deal because that's the only option you have. Is that democracy? Or is Trump basically saying, look, I had enough. America had enough. We are not going to be in this no more. You make up your mind what you want to do, but do not expect us to give you our taxpayers' money to support your cause.
That's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think?
What's this negotiation?
This is going to be great television, I will say that.
And as you can imagine, the liberal media are having a field day.
Raw emotion on show, I think, from President Trump as he became visibly angry, almost red-faced, gave Zelensky a kind of light shove on the top of the arm. These are the kinds of things that are emotions that are quite hard to manufacture. I'm not entirely convinced that the whole thing would have been choreographed, no.
Do you want to continue fighting? Do you want peace? And if he had the opportunity to go back to the White House right now, would you do it?
No. First of all, we want peace. That's why I'm in the United States. That's why I visited President Trump. And thanks for the invitation again. The deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here. President Reagan said that peace is not just an absent the war. Yes, we're speaking about just and lasting peace, about freedom, about justice, about human rights. And that's why I said that I think so, that ceasefire, and Putin, he broken 25 times ceasefire during all these years.
Zelensky is basically saying that he wants peace and he would sign the agreement. But the interesting thing is that when peace was on the table, I think a couple years ago, initially when the war started, I think there was a proposal to sign a compromise, have a peace agreement and finish the fighting. Who flew in? Boris Johnson flew in, to say that, look, we're going to give you financial backing, we're going to give you military equipment, we're going to give you ammunition and training to support you in your cause. Now, Zelensky could have said, no, we don't want to carry on. Because as soon as you stop giving us support, we're done. To go against Russia is it's nonsensical unless you really have the backing. But that backing was superficial. It was on a surface level, and as soon as shit hit the fan and the support faded away, what would happen then? And this is where we find Ukraine right now in 2025. So, again, it leads back to the school lunchtime analogy, you know, school fight. When a small kid is fighting someone much bigger, at year 7 is fighting someone from year 11, and you know there's no chance. But somehow the year 8s and year 9s and year 10s and year 11s are back in the year 7 and saying, yeah, you can do it. Come on, get stuck in, do it. There's no chance. There's absolutely no chance. What's all this about? And it needs to be called out. It needs to be called out. It cannot be swept under the carpet, because if it was really about the people, if it was really about saving people and saving people's lives, first thing you would do is try to find a compromise, find a resolution, and end the war. The fact that you want to carry on and put, you know, you have this conscription in the country where you go and collect young kids, young men, adults, and you send them to the front line with minimal training. All right, they've got equipment, but they've got minimal training. You know, they don't want to fight. They've got no morale. What's that about? How is that liberal? What's liberal about that? If that's not a dictatorship, you tell me what is a dictatorship. When you collect people, you know, almost this is the way Gestapo collected people off the street and said, you, how old are you? 16? You're coming with us. Come on. Here's your rifle. Here's your equipment. Off you go. The constant reference to allies as strategic partners clearly shows you that there is commercial gain, or there is a commercial, you know, incentive involved, and we need to be aware of it, and we cannot sweep it under the carpet and pretend that it's all about democracy, it's all about, no, there is a commercial incentive involved.
Anyway, we are strategic partners. Yes, we are partners. You know, we are very close partners. We have to be fair. We have to be very free.
So anyway, look, I'm going to be here forever. Thank you for watching All the Oblivion. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I see you next time. Peace.